Update for the Redneck Garage. Well, back on the TJ again. I brought the hood home to paint the hood separate from the truck because that's really, for me, that's like the most important thing. If you can get the hood right, then the rest of the truck looks much, much better. My computer took a crap on me. It was an old Mini Mac from 2009. My camera crapped out on me, so all technology that I use to film and produce really kind of screwed up on me. So there are some gaps in the timeline of the videos, but I am going to put them together. As far as the hood goes, the peeling was so bad. I took the hood, I used a chemical stripper on it, got everything off of it. I used some zinc primer, metal primer on it, and then I used polyester high build primer after I fixed a couple things in it. And I think that's where the video picks back up. But I did a lot of body work on the hood, and it turns out it looks really nice. So let's get going with that, and then we'll pick back up. I'm out here working on the hood for the TJ after I epoxy primed it, sanded it, touched it up with a little bit of self-etching primer where I burned through. Progress is slow, and the struggle is real. Let's take a look at the hood where we're at. It's been epoxy primered. Where it's been epoxy primered, I sanded it down. There's a couple spots that it burned through, so I used just some self-etching primer, which is good for metal, just out of a spray can, just sprayed it over the very few marks. So it's about ready for the 2K primer, which is more like a, almost like a Bondo, sprayable Bondo, really very thick coating to fill in any imperfections. So let's take a closer look at the hood. Well, I was gonna try to prime, but it looks like that's gonna be out. The tornado siren warnings are going off, so I think that's gonna be about it for today on this. Alright, I got the Y2K acrylic primer on, super thick, 2 coats. Let this, you can see how thick that is. Wow, that's thick. Let it dry for a couple of days, start wet sanding it down, then we'll see where we need to touch up. Awesome. Alright, so I got the back of the hood prepped, ready for paint. Not critical either way. Ready to throw some blue to it, and then we can move around to the top. Top looks really good. It's all sanded and prepped with primer. I'll probably wet sand it down just a little bit, clean it up before we shoot the top part, but I'm gonna go ahead and do the inside because I think I want it to gross. I'm gonna go ahead and shoot the inside because I think it'll look better having that match the rest of the truck rather than having it a different color. Alright, let's take a look at the paint. This is Night Watch Blue Metallic. This is the base coat. It's been sitting for, I don't know, like a year. And I got my mixing mate, super duper mixer extraordinaire. It's going to go down in here. Let's take a look. Alright, I gave up. I'm just going to put it in the shaker for a little while and then put the stir in. Hopefully it'll mix it up where I can get the actual mix mate in it. Alright, so that's a lot better. I've been shaking the crap out of it. Looks like it's mixed up a lot better than it was. Let me get a stir stick. Not much clumpiness in there now. There's still a little bit. That's going to be pretty though. There's still a little clumpy in there, but with the mix mate in there, I'll continue to stir it up a little bit and it should dissolve. Yeah, I got the mix mate on it, so I'll just continue for the next couple days stirring it up. There's a little bit of I can feel a little metallic in there. It'll hit it once in a while. So it's got a couple little clumps. This should end up breaking it up, and we should be fine. Let me tell you, this metallic is so freaking thick that I can't even stir it with my super stir. I mean, I can finally get it to go, but I mean, it is like super thick. I'm going to take this out and take a look at it. Oh yeah, you see that metallic settling at the very bottom on the gross. Alright, so I got to stir the crap out of this again. That's only been a few days, so it settles pretty quick. I'll stir the crap out of it and we'll see if we can get this painted. Okay, I got it turning freely, so I'm going to stir on this for a few minutes and then we'll take it out again. And then I'll take it out again and we'll see if there's any residue on the veins of the stirrer again, and that'll kind of tell us whether it's actually mixing it all up or not. If you're going to do like partials, like a hood or a door or a tailgate, you got to make sure that you can keep it mixed up consistently throughout the painting process. Otherwise, one of them will have more metallic, more color than the others, and that's the kind of the drawback. You got to make sure that it's mixed up. Now, that might work. Yeah, it's dark blue. I think it's going to turn out nice though. Alright, I'll throw it in the gun and then we'll start shooting. Okay, I think I got enough blue on the back. I mean, it's not super critical as far as like the underside of the hood. You just want it to match fairly close. So I'm going to let this flash out and dry, and then I'm going to put it on the stand upside down and kind of make sure I didn't miss any of the edges, and then we can start looking at getting the clear put on it. But I'm going to let this dry. It's about 60 degrees out here, so it's drying a little bit slower than normal. I'm using about a 70-degree thinner, but usually you're fine on the base coat with that. Out in the sun you can see the metallic a lot better. Whew. I think it's going to look pretty with clear on it. We'll see. It's quite a bit darker than the other blue. Today I'm going to be using the Speedo line SMR 1150 clear, which is about $100 a gallon with activator, which is very inexpensive, but it performs really well. So I got it mixed up. It's a 4-to-1 mixture. I'm going to put it in the gun and we'll be ready to clear this baby. Alright, that's the first coat on there of the clear. It's starting to flash off a little bit now. This is going to be really a pretty color, I'm telling you. Where that sunlight hits it, it is gorgeous. So let this first coat dry out a little bit, and then I will hit it again with another thick coat. Like I said, it's about 60 degrees, so I'm going to let it flash out for a little bit. The Speedo line actually performs really well, especially for an inexpensive clear. And it does better than a lot of the clears that I've used in the past. So there you go. Well, for the underside of the hood, it looks awful fine. I love it. That blue is going to look beautiful, especially out in the sunlight. Got one little run right there. Who cares? You'll never see it. It looks beautiful. It'll gloss out underneath the hood just fine. So I'll let this dry, but that blue is pretty cool looking. So here's where my technical challenge came in. I don't know where the video went, what happened to it. Did it get erased, or did it just go off into the atmosphere? Who knows about painting the hood. However, the hood turned out beautiful. It's basically the same thing as painting the backside of the hood. And there's nothing I can do about not having the video footage. So let's take a look at how the hood turned out. Well, I think the hood turned out beautiful. The color is awesome. This is after wet sanding it down and buffing it out, and probably when I do the truck I'll hit this one more time, sand it with like some 2000 and then buff it out. But as far as like how the truck should look, this should be the color, and the hood looks great. As long as I don't drop it, damage it, do something to it before I can get it back over to the shop. As far as the hood goes, I think it turned out great. If we can get the rest of the Jeep to look as nice as the hood, I am in great shape. So that's where we're going to be picking up in the next video, is prepping everything else on the Jeep body itself. So anyway, hood's done. No video. I'm Davey from the Redneck Garage. Any questions, comments, post it below. Keep turning wrenches.